Diane Keaton was one of a kind. A voice, a presence, a spirit that could not be copied. On October 11th, 2025, the world said goodbye to her. She passed away at the age of 79 in Los Angeles, surrounded by family and close friends. News of her death was first reported by People magazine and later confirmed by Reuters and the Associated Press. Her family requested privacy as tributes began to pour in from all corners of the entertainment world. No official cause of death has been made public, though sources close to the actress said her health had declined quietly over recent months. But the details of her passing are less important than the decades of life, laughter, and art she gave us. Diane Keaton was born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, California. Her mother, Dorothy Hall, was a photographer and homemaker. Her father, Jack Hall, was a civil engineer and real estate broker. It was from her mother that she learned the power of creativity and the importance of expressing oneself. In interviews, Diane often said that her mother inspired her fascination with beauty and individuality. After finishing high school, Diane moved to New York to pursue acting, studying at the neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater under the legendary Sanford Meisner. It was there she learned to embrace truth in performance, to act not for approval, but for connection. In 1968, she made her Broadway debut in Hair, but even then, she was different. She refused to perform nude in a show that demanded it from every actor. That small act of defiance would come to define her entire career. She kept her clothes on, but the spotlight still found her. Soon after, she met a young writer and director named Woody Allen, who cast her in his play Play It Again, Sam in 1969. The chemistry between them was undeniable, on stage, on screen, and, for a time, in real life. That collaboration launched her film career and introduced the world to Diane Keaton's unique blend of accumulated awkwardness and wit. Her first major film appearance came in The Godfather in 1972. As Kay Adams, the wife of Michael Corleone, she brought quiet heartbreak to a role surrounded by power and violence. She reprised the part in The Godfather Part 2, cementing herself in cinematic history. But her defining moment arrived in 1977 with Annie Hall. The film, written and directed by Woody Allen, wasn't just a romantic comedy. It was a cultural reset, a story about love, neurosis, and identity in modern America. Diane Keaton's performance was luminous, funny, and heartbreakingly real. Her wardrobe, the hats, vests, ties, and baggy pants, became an instant fashion phenomenon. When she walked on screen in that now iconic outfit, she wasn't following a stylist. She was just wearing her own clothes. That year, Diane won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Annie Hall, along with the BAFTA for the same role. Critics called her the most relatable woman Hollywood had ever seen. But even at the height of fame, Diane didn't chase stardom the way others did. She preferred curiosity over glamour, honesty over polish. In the following years, she took risks that few actresses dared. In Looking for Mr. Goodbar, she played a teacher drawn into a dangerous nightlife world. In Reds, directed by Warren Beatty, she portrayed journalist Louise Bryant with intensity and intelligence, earning another Oscar nomination. She worked with the biggest names of her generation, yet never lost her signature awkward laugh and that sparkling unpredictability that made every moment feel real. Through the 80s and 90s, Diane Keaton became America's favorite grown-up. In Baby Boom, she redefined what a working mother could look like on screen: ambitious, exhausted, but fiercely human. In Father of the Bride, she embodied grace and humor. Then came The First Wives Club, the ultimate revenge comedy for women over 40, proving that female friendship was box office gold. Diane wasn't just acting. She was shaping how women saw themselves. Her characters were independent, smart, emotional, and never afraid of aging. She once said in an interview, "Aging is a privilege. Not everyone gets to do it." By the early 2000s, Diane Keaton had entered another golden phase. In 2003, she starred opposite Jack Nicholson in Something's Gotta Give, a romantic comedy about love later in life. The film was a smash hit, earning over $200 million worldwide. Critics called her performance radiant and fearless. She received another Oscar nomination, reminding Hollywood that women over 50 could still lead the biggest movies. That same year, she published her first memoir, Then Again, a deeply personal look at her relationship with her mother and her lifelong battle with self-doubt and perfectionism. Outside of film, Keaton built a second career in design and photography. She restored historic homes across California and published several coffee table books showcasing her love for architecture and interiors. She had an eye for detail, symmetry, and imperfection, the same things that made her performances so vivid. Her Instagram feed, which she managed personally, was a mix of humor, art, and unapologetic individuality. Even in her 70s, she posted videos dancing in her kitchen, wearing outrageous hats, and laughing at herself. Diane Keaton never married. She had relationships with several of her famous co-stars, Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, and Al Pacino, but she always said she valued independence over romance. "I don't think I was made for marriage," she once told The Guardian. Yet in her 50s, she decided to adopt 2 children, a daughter named Dexter and a son named Duke. She called motherhood the most fulfilling experience of her life. She was proud of raising them away from the Hollywood spotlight, focusing instead on stability and laughter. Even as she aged, Diane remained stylish and mischievous. She joked about her wrinkles, made fun of herself in interviews, and refused to apologize for her choices. "I never wanted to look perfect," she said. "I wanted to look like myself." In 2017, the American Film Institute honored her with the AFI Life Achievement Award. Friends and peers, from Meryl Streep to Al Pacino, filled the room to celebrate her. Pacino called her the bravest actor I ever worked with. Warren Beatty simply said, "She's the real thing." In her final years, Diane continued to act. She appeared in Book Club in 2018, alongside Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen. A film about friendship, romance, and rediscovering joy later in life. The movie was such a hit that a sequel, Book Club: The Next Chapter, followed in 2023, shot partly in Italy. Critics praised Keaton's humor and natural chemistry with her co-stars. Her final film, Summer Camp, released in 2024, was a light-hearted comedy about lifelong friends reuniting, an almost poetic closing chapter to her career. Off-screen, she remained active in philanthropy, supporting Alzheimer's research and the preservation of historic architecture. She wrote a second memoir, Brother and Sister, exploring her complicated relationship with her brother Randy and her reflections on family. She spoke openly about loss, creativity, and the courage it takes to keep going. "Life is short," she said in one of her final interviews, "but the stories we tell, they last forever." When news of her passing broke, the response was immediate and heartfelt. Social media filled with clips from Annie Hall and Something's Gotta Give. Fellow actors described her as a true original. Bette Midler wrote, "There will never be another Diane Keaton." Nancy Meyers, who directed her in Something's Gotta Give, posted a photo of Diane laughing on set with the caption, "She taught me that you can be brilliant, kind, and absolutely yourself, all at once." Her influence extended far beyond Hollywood. Designers cited her as a muse. Women of every generation saw in her a reflection of freedom. She made intelligence glamorous. She made awkwardness magnetic. And she made being unapologetically oneself a form of art. Diane Keaton was not just an actress. She was a symbol of creative freedom, a woman who showed that aging could be stylish, that independence could be romantic, and that laughter could heal anything. Her voice may be silent now, but her spirit, quirky, fierce, and full of wonder, will keep echoing through every scene she ever touched. Rest in peace, Diane Keaton. You gave us characters we loved, stories we remembered, and a way of being that will never go out of style.